Hi, I'm Lauren E. Miller, founder of Stress Solutions University, and welcome to today's 15-minute stress relief hot seat coaching call, equipping you with quick stress relief techniques, perceptions, and tips needed to help you uncork and ignite your ability to expand your faith, inner calm, clarity of focus, motivation, and ultimately, which we all appreciate on a daily basis, solution-based thinking. Today's focus, it's a good one. 2 tips to help you protect your energy in the midst of dumpers. To preface the techniques, I think that it's enlightening to know that when you are in the place of dumpers, actual scientific evidence has recently proven the connection between being in the presence of people that are complaining, or I refer to it as dumping on you. It actually, of course, settles in your biology and can shrink your brain. I love those studies that come out. I feel like I'm stating the obvious here. Of course, you know it. You almost feel like your brain is shrinking when you're in the presence of dumpers. And I have to say that I'm confident you have been on the place of being the dumper as well as the dumpee. And so I want to encourage you today to keep guard over your thoughts. Again, you will often hear me say, stay awake at the gate of your thoughts in terms of how you are processing life, because how you label life, whether positive or negative, it eventually makes its way out of your mouth. And so wake up at the gate and choose how you are labeling life as it unfolds before you so that you do not become a dumper and shrink other people's brains. I love that image. And it actually feels like that when you're standing in the place of somebody that's complaining. Understand this. You are not responsible for other people's happiness. We often take on the savior role. In fact, many of my clients, I've worked through releasing the savior complex, and it's feeling responsible for other people's happiness, or responsible for solving other people's challenges in life, helping other people move through their own challenges. There's one thing to stand on the sidelines and be the encourager, and to remind the people that are in your life that they have the God-given abilities to come up with creative solutions and offer some positive brainstorming with the people in your life. And it's another thing to feel responsible for their happiness or sense of well-being. The best gift that you can give to those people in your life is to remind them by encouraging them with words like, I have full confidence that you are capable of coming up with a creative solution to this situation. I'm here to support you, encourage you, and I believe in you. I know you can do this. And when you shift the energy back on the other person and basically you become their cheerleader and encourage them on in life, then that will spark within them, oh, maybe I can do this. Even encourage them, if you've known them for a while, even encourage them and say, you've done this before. You can do this again. So remember to choose your place of an encourager rather than an enabler. So when you find yourself in the position of being dumped upon, which we've all experienced being dumped upon, there's a couple of things that you can do to actually protect your energy so you don't become drained. The first one is, I mentioned, is to stay awake at the gate of your thoughts, and do not feel responsible for solving other people's problems. In fact, I remember one time when I was going through the experience of cancer and divorce, and I had gone to give my hair away the 14th day after the first AC chemo, which is known as the Red Devil. And the doctor said on 14 days your hair will start falling out. Of course, I resisted that and yet was guided through the experience in spite of my resistance. And I was driving home in the car with my 3 children in the back seat, and my mom was driving, and I had given my hair away, and so I had what was left was just a bunch of patches and some hair that was still hanging on in a crew cut type look, and they had given me a wig that I wasn't liken at all. I was trying to, at that point, help my children feel comfortable with the experience of their mom losing their hair. And I remember my mom just kind of giving me the side glance and looking at me, because she could see that I was doing everything in my power to hold back just absolutely wailing and weeping, because this was the first indication to me when I looked in the mirror, oh my gosh, I'm going through the experience of cancer. Before that, you couldn't tell. And so she said something that I will never forget. She looked at me and kind of under her breath, because my 3 children, 8, 10, and 12, were in the back seat at the time, and she looked at me and she said, Lauren, do not rob your children of the opportunity to access and connect to their strength to be able to move through this challenging situation by holding back what is real for you in this moment. And I share that story today because many times you will rob the person you're with of reminders because of the disease to please and overcare. So this is just kind of an added mindset tip to the other 2 physiological or more biological tips I'm going to share today. Do not rob the people that come into your life that are dumping from the opportunity to be real in their conflict. And by that you can be conscious of the words that you use to guide them back to themselves. True teachers in this world are those, true wise teachers in this world are those who guide individuals back to themselves and their fullest God-given potential and ability to move through conflict. So I encourage you today to be aware of being the guide and encourager of guiding other human beings who happen to be dumping in your presence back to themselves. I have full confidence that you will come up with a creative solution to this. Wow, that is a challenge. And you know what? I know you have the ability to move through this. Remind them of the things they're forgetting in the moment. So guide the dumpers back to God, back to their fullest remembrance that they can handle any situation. God has given them the ability, if they choose to access it, to move through and to emerge on the other side with an even greater good and access to more awareness of their God-given strength than had the conflict not even occurred. That's the process of life. That's what's seen in the rose and the thorns. So the first biological tip today, and it's actually from neurolinguistic programming, the way that the energy flows. Your body is made up of energy. We use this in the medical world as we capture the waves of the brain and the heart, EEGs and EKGs. There are also, in quantum physics, they're able to capture the wave and the movement of the energy out through another human being, as well as capture the energy when 2 human beings actually are standing in front of one another and the flow of that energy. The way that your energy flows is out of your heart. Not surprising. One of my favorite verses from the Bible is to guard your heart, for it is the wellspring of life. It is. And in quantum physics, they show it. They prove it scientifically. You can actually see the flow of the energy out of the heart. When another human being is vibrating or calibrating with a lower energetic vibration, when they're complaining, just understand that you are the one responsible for guarding your heart. What you can do in that situation, particularly before you step into a situation where you know that perhaps you will be in the presence of dumpers or complainers in life, what you do is you take your hands, actually, and you stand up before entering that situation, and you move them quickly from at your sides all the way up to the sky. So you're pushing the energy up, and this is referred to in neurolinguistic programming as zipping yourself up. I will do this often when I'm dealing with trauma with my clients. And so I will zip my energy field up so that it doesn't stick, so that I can stay in the objective place to guide them back to their healing without having it stick in my biology. So again, you take your hands, they're at your side, and you just quick movement upwards several different times, and just consciously have the intention of protecting and guarding your energy field before walking in, so that you can maintain that large space of observation, which will give you that little space between what is being said, or the complainer or the dumping that's happening, and your response to it. The second technique that you can use is just a quick little turn of your shoulder when you're in the presence of someone who's complaining. And this, again, you're linking a physiological movement to your intention to guard your heart. And so honoring the fact that the energy does flow out of your heart, you just turn your shoulder. When you're in the presence of someone who's dumping, just turn your shoulder to the side, so you're not facing them heart to heart. Some people that I've shared this with, that have actually seen me in groups of people, have come up to me and whispered in my ear, "I can see you were guarding your heart with that person." So it's actually, I apply this and it works, because not only are you, when you do make that conscious turn, it's connected to your intention. So you're going to come from a different space of response, and you're going to be able to then access the different aspects of solution-based thinking as a result of just that turn, that you're still loving the person and not engaging or encouraging the negative complaining. So then you can be on the objective place of being an effective guide to that person that happens to be complaining to you in that moment. So you just turn your shoulder, so they're facing you, and your shoulder's kind of at an angle, kind of guarding your heart, which is exactly what you're doing. You're guarding your energy field at that time. So enjoy those practices. So the one, again, just to sum up before I get off here, the mindset skill: stay awake at the gate of your thoughts. You're to be the encourager, not the enabler. You're to remind the human being that happens to be complaining that they have the God-given ability to handle any situation that unfolds before them. 2, zip up your energy field. You are not responsible or called to be the savior. You're called to be the guide and the encourager in this world. So zip up your energy field so it doesn't stick in your biology, and so you can keep your brain size to its maximum potential. You don't want any of that. You don't have time for that. Shrinking of the brain. The third is to just turn your shoulder. Simply turn your shoulder as a sign of guarding your heart. We all know that stress is a silent killer. In fact, 80% of disease is stress-related, according to Harvard Medical. So if you do value your health, and yet you don't have the time to figure out how to de-stress along with expanding your faith, clarity of focus, inner motivation, and solution-based thinking, then explore StressSolutionsUniversity.com. On the main site right now, we're offering a free gift, StressSolutionsUniversity.com. And then in that, once you've gotten that gift, there's also an invitation to explore Stress Solutions University. We're constantly adding new content and value, and making lifestyle stress solutions easy for you.